Hey guys, welcome back. Art from European Auto Group here. We have a 2016 Mclaren 570S here at the shop. Usually these 570Ss have some little quirky things that are pretty common that I'm going to show you today, so that if you run across this situation with your Mclaren 570S, you'd be able to kind of get an idea and fix it. A lot of times when we see these 570Ss, the filler caps for the fluids are right underneath this panel. McLaren used some cheap plastic components on this hinge and on the actual latch system, and it usually breaks down and then you can't open this up. So then you kind of have to either pry it, or actually sometimes it does break and it stays open. So either you get a situation where it stays closed or a situation where it stays open. So I will show you a cheap little trick to fix that, or else you got to take your car to the McLaren dealership and spend $5,000 on a whole new latch system and cable. So we're going to show you how to fix that first. So in order to open the rear, if it's working properly, there's a button on the side door, on the driver's side door here. It's a little top button here, and that'll actually, you press it and that'll open the latch. But the car does need to be in accessory to open that back panel. So now that we're in accessory, when we hit this button, it should unlatch. So there's this plastic latch system here, and there's a piece on the back that actually goes through this that actually holds all this in place. When that piece breaks, the plastic piece from the factory, this little guy, it spins all the way around and it doesn't let you latch this. So in order to actually take this off to work on this latch system, you're going to need a 8mm socket to take this panel off. So these are the only two bolts here that actually hold this panel in place. So once you pull those off, you can actually lift the whole thing off. So right on the back of this plastic piece here, from the factory, the way it was molded, this pin would actually run all the way through to the back. This actually, I put this here, obviously, to fix the problem without having to replace the whole thing. So once this piece breaks off, what you can do, you could just take a little pin like this and drill a hole from the front and then run it towards the back and then put a little screw here, and that'll stay in that little slider section and allow this to not spin all the way around, because that actually holds it right on the back there from spinning all the way around. There's like a little slot here. Let me try to move this a little bit so you can see it. It's going to be hard to see it. So there's a little cut section in that piece that actually doesn't allow it to spin all the way around. See, so that's as far as it'll go. Before, when that plastic piece broke off, this would spin all the way around and it wouldn't hold the latch down. The other common issue is a boost issue, or you get mass airflow sensor codes. These engines vibrate so much, and whoever put these cars together in the factory, the hose clamps here, 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 and here, they get loose. So these boots actually blow off under acceleration. So that'll trip a check engine light, you'll lose power, it'll go into limp mode. So if you get boost codes or mass airflow codes, that's the first thing that you should check, is your boots, to make sure that they're tight. The other common issue is secondary air injection codes, and you'll pretty much see something like this: secondary air injection system, insufficient flow, bank 1, bank 2. So when McLaren designed this car in the secondary air injection system, they thought it was a brilliant idea to put the secondary air injection hose that's plastic right next to the catalytic converter. So in a second, I'm going to show you where that's located and what you can do to solve that issue without actually going out and buying a whole new secondary air injection hose. So the secondary air injection hose is located right next to this catalytic converter. And as you can see, this has clips on this hose on both sides here. And you can actually see that the side that's closest to the catalytic converter, it's starting to melt. And when that happens, this hose actually pulls out and it sits right about here. And that's what causes those secondary air injection codes. So what I'm thinking, if you don't want to go and replace this entire hose, that's going to cost you probably an arm and a leg and your small child, my thought is to pop this back in and then grab a couple of zip ties, wrap the zip tie around here, wrap another zip tie around here since there's lips on both sides, and then just wrap another zip tie over top on each side to pretty much build a makeshift clip. Once you do that, I would highly recommend that you wrap this with some sort of a heat shielding to prevent the zip ties and further meltage of this clip, and that should hold you over for a while until you're ready to replace it. So we grab a couple of zip ties. Just want to make sure that they're the thicker kind, not the smaller kind. So basically what you want to do is loop one around the hose and then loop another one around the end there on the other side where the hose connects. And then basically what you'll do is you'll have the two sides and you'll take another zip tie and basically create a ring on both sides. So what this will do, you'll zip this all the way down, and then you'll tighten this, and then you'll do the same thing on the other side, and that should hold that hose in place. And then we'll wrap our heat shielding around it so that it doesn't continue to, so the exhaust doesn't continue to melt the zip ties and the hose. All right, so now that we got the zip ties on here, we got the two main ones and then the two on the side. This is not pulling out. Now we can wrap this with our heat shield to prevent this from further melting. All right, so we've completed our cheap fixes on this McLaren 570S and cleared the codes. See if the check engine light's on. Nope, looks like we're good to go. And that's how you fix a McLaren 570S for $3.
Hey, you need me to let you out of here, bro? Wait a minute. Where's the door handle, bro?
There isn't one, it's only inside the car.
Crap.